Understanding fintech ecosystems is important for entrepreneurs and investors. We now turn to the Balkans as we have two countries presenting from the Southeast Europe, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. Presenters are Jesenko Majušević from Bamcard and Vladimir Vasic from Association of Serbian Banks.
In the last 4 years, government of Serbia has invested close to 100 million of euros in construction of innovation infrastructure and mechanism to support startup companies. The most state-of-the-art science and technological parks have been built where experts are working on the development of top innovations for the global market. The problem, of course, is always insufficient investment in startup fintechs. It has been recognized, and that is why significant tax incentives have been made for investing in startup companies. For example, the Serbian ICT export for 2019 was 1.4 billion euro for the 2019, and the increase year to year is between 20 and up to 30%. And at the beginning of the year, British weekly magazine, The Economist, assessed that an unexpected technological boom was taking place in Serbia, positively noting the progress of the ICT sector in Serbia and assessing that the digital revolution is finally coming to Serbia. And a few months later, the Financial Times presented a positive story about the technological scene in Serbia, highlighting that in the last 10 years, many technological entrepreneurs have chosen Serbia as the place to establish their companies, that there is a wide diversity of sectors and business models, and that is the local market is rich in technological talents. In June 2019, the Fintech for Business Forum USA sponsor was held in Belgrade, covering the topic of presenting innovative solutions in the field of financial technologies. The forum was attended by those interested in fintech and startup scene, with representatives of financial institutions and international investment funds, crowd investing platforms, Conda and Bitbond. The forum opened the door for new opportunities and for business cooperation and legal solutions. It could be seen from the substance discussion that the term fintech is often changeable with the term startup, which is indicative of model by which fintech is launched with the startup infrastructures. We can follow the development of startups in Serbia through the report of American organization Startup Genome, in which Belgrade Novi Sad startup ecosystem was analyzed. According to the latest report, this startup ecosystem is under activation, but is already worth about $500 million. The most important subsectors are blockchain, where the Serbia is the top 5 countries in terms of number of blockchain developers, as well as production of video games. Opportunities to invest in startups and thus fintech are great because investment index is rated the lowest. The importance of cooperation between the banking sector and fintech in Serbia is widely recognized, which is evident in numerous examples of organization annual fintech hackathons. We had plenty of them. So one of them was with the topic Digital Banking Challenge. The other one was Data Challenge. And there was one, digitalization of plastics. It was 2018. Also, we have startup accelerators, Sterit, which is taking part in organizing the Elevator Lab Challenge in May 2018, a corporate accelerator program which aims to create opportunities for synergy between banks and startups and to bring faster, innovative solutions for the finance and banking market. Today, Serbia is the host for the regional fintech startup competition, Elevator Lab Challenge. It's organized in the form of local competitions in Serbia, local countries, Bosnia Herzegovina, Croatia, but also including Montenegro and Slovenia. With this initiative, awards were given to domestic entrepreneurs in 2018. It was between Network for their invoice verification platform based on blockchain. And in 2019, the Abstract Cyber Score for their platform for third-party cyber risk assessment for financial institutions. In FinTech Atlas, Serbia has been noted for the 2nd year in a row in the positive sense of the fastest growing ecosystem in relation to ecosystems that are in the same phase. The Association of Serbian Banks, which I represent as General Secretary, is one of the sponsors of Fintech Hackathon on the topic of crowdfunding, together with the Belgrade Banking Academy and one of the local banks. And the registration for this event is currently underway. When we put together a banking sector that is friendly to fintech startup, which listen and actively provides opportunities for fintech solutions to complete technologically educated staff and startup ecosystem, but with clear rapid growth. The progress is there and we will see the benefit. We are showing the benefit, as I mentioned, 1.4 billion of euros worth export for the last year. According to Forrester Research, investments are mostly directed toward mature and well-known fintech companies, which deal with commercial technologies solutions. Small fintech companies should experience a serious lack of capital, and maybe that can be an opportunity for traditional bank and some new favorable acquisitions. There is difference between banks and that offer digital services and those that are truly digital. Traditionally, banks will either have to be partners with fintech or take on the transformation process themselves. The key of this transformation is turnaround in thinking, which already happened in our market. Strategies are largely diversified in a way to start with the client, not the bank. The so-called customer journey is basically the creation of most new banking services. But when it comes to personalization of services, the implementation of new technology is very important. For example, using artificial intelligence, robo-advisors, chatbots, using big data in these services, collection of process, large and processing of large amount of data. The bank that do not realize the potential of new technologies today, either individually or in cooperation with fintech, will be left with no clients tomorrow. And what we did also in Serbia for the last 1.5 to 2 years, regarding the payment system, we have possibility to open the account without necessity to go to the branch office physically. So video identification of the clients, but also we can provide along with this system. So we started recently and we have a huge impact on let's say huge. They started to grow up very fast and we're expecting to be larger and larger portion in the digital loan applying. We also here presented by the National Bank of Serbia, we have instant payment as a system from the last 2 years, and also very huge progress from the customer experience because people started to use through the QR code. And this is also one of the very, very recognized and applicable solutions for our clients. That's how I see from the Serbia, the fintech and the cooperation.
Situation here in Bosnia is very difficult because of really a relatively slow start of this fintech industry here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And that's one of the driving forces for the new innovations in the payment industry. So because of that, Bamcard started to find a new solution and to invest in new startups with our companies that joined us in this venture with the payment industry. So we are developing new platforms which are looking to be really recognized in the market, and our main goal is to use as much as technology and know-how from the Western countries that already use more developed, more intuitive solutions for payments. We also started a project where we joined EMSA, which is European market for mobile payments and for payments altogether. And in this together market, we already developed a payment solution for our local banks that will be similar to something like Swish in Norwegian area. It will be based on local scheme, and it will also allow user to use instant payments and QR code payments and quick cash withdrawals without cards. So this is all online-based solutions, but the challenge is, together with these new solutions, is to develop platforms for security of our users. So that will be our main priority in the following steps to provide the secure solutions that will go together with these advanced payment solutions. As I mentioned, it's really been challenging here in Bosnia and Herzegovina to start anything new because of the situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina, where we have bigger leading banks like Raiffeisen and Unicredit holding much of the payment industry. So together with the smaller banks, we are trying to invest and to start in production of whole new products for our user. In the future, we will try to implement also e-wallets for our customers, where there will be implementation of sharing these e-wallets to your friends, or maybe the main goal is to share these e-wallets to your family members, where it will be possible for younger generations, kids, and for spouses and mothers and grandfathers to use your account, where you will share the certain amount of money from your account for them to use with these advanced payment solutions. We already started a new project where we introduced QR payments to some of the merchants here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And the system is pretty easy, and it's based on the Swiss and Western Union, and also traditional payments in China, where they will be able to use this platform to quickly scan the QR code in any merchant and pay without using their cards. Also, we are trying to implement these QR payments for our merchants in e-commerce shopping. So this will be a focus on upcoming period in 2021. We will try to integrate our network into European money scheme network, where all the local schemes are joined together without the biggest brands like Visa and MasterCard. And together we will try to make one big global story where customers will use their funds in their local markets, and also when they're traveling aboard to the countries that are members of EMSA, and they will be able to use their mobile payments platforms that we developed, and these QR payments in all the merchants supported. So this is mainly our focus in 2020, and it will be in 2021. We already see a big growth here in e-commerce transaction and also in modern payment platforms, but it's been really slow to start because there is not too much confidence in this online payments here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. People are mainly relying on cash for their purchases, so there is a lot of room for improvement here. But the problem is a lack of government support and investment in the new technologies. Also, digital signature, it's not supported here in Bosnia and Herzegovina, so this is something that is holding us back. But we are expecting in future months, and maybe a little bit more than that because of the COVID, that they will implement this regulative, and it will allow banks to acquire quickly new clients and add them to the mobile platforms without them being needed to go through the banks and go through all the paperwork. So after that, we will start this platform in a wider range, where all our customers will be, and their customers, bank customers, will be able to join this platform from their home and quickly start paying online via QR code or via e-commerce websites that support our payments. So that will be our main focus. But together with that, we are developing new platforms that will use advanced solutions for securing digital wallets. We have a solution called Card Guard, where a customer will be able to stop e-commerce transactions when they are not using it, or maybe set a time limit for their e-commerce transactions to work, let's say, during the working hours. So that will be a next step in protecting their money. So we are also investing a lot of knowledge in machine learning and trying to develop new fraud monitoring and alerting systems, because fraudulent payments, online payments, are mainly fraudulent transactions mainly come from the e-commerce transaction and from online payments. So this will be our focus in upcoming years and months.